मातृभूमि का प्रताप है.
Yes.
Hari Om, Nana, you can get started.
Okay. Thank you. ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि. श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः. सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां. नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं चैव ततो जयमुदीरयेत्. Brahmara, who is starting the third chapter today?
Hari Om.
Today it's Sheila ji who is going to chant.
Okay.
And
Sheila ji.
Yeah. If I make a lot of mistake, please stop me. Jai Gurudev.
You can get started, Sheila ji. I will share.
Okay.
From your PDF, you can get started.
Yeah. Jai Gurudev. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Srimad Bhagavad Gita Atha Tritiyo Arjuna Uvacha Jayasti Chet Karmanaste Mata Buddhirjanardana Tat Kinkarmani Ghore Mam Niyojayasi Keshava Yapyami Shreneva Vakyena Buddhim Mohayasiva Me Tadekam Vadat Nischitya Yena Shreyo Hamatnuyam. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Lokesmin Dvividha Nishtha Pura Prokta Maya Nagha Jnana Yogena Sankhyanam Karma Yogena Yoginam Na Karmana Manarambhan Naishkarmyam Purushosmate Na cha Sannasanadeva Siddhim Samadhigacchati Nahi kaschit kshanamapi Jatu tishtatya karma krut Karyate yavashat karma Sarva prakriti chair gunehi Karmendriyani sanyamya Yah aste manasa smaran Indriyarthan vimodhatma Mithyacarasa uchyate Yastindriyani manasa Niyamya rabhate Arjuna Karmendriya karma yogam Asaktas savichishyate नियतं कुरु कर्म त्वं कर्म ज्यायो ह्यत्कर्मणः शरीरयात्रापि च ते न प्रसिद्ध्येद कर्मणः यज्ञार्थात् कर्मणोऽन्यत्र लोकोऽयं कर्म बन्धनः तदर्थं कर्म कौन्तेय मुक्तसङ्गः समाचर सह यज्ञाः प्रजा सृष्ट्वा पुरोवाच प्रजापतिः अनेन प्रवस्विष्यध्वम् एषवोस्त्विष्टकामधु.
Hari Om.
Yes, Nanaji.
What it means is Anena prasavishyadvam eshavostvishta kamadak.
अनेन प्रसविष्यध्वम् एषवोस्त्विष्टकामधु.
Yeah.
एवान् भावयता तेन ते देवा भावयन्तु वः परस्परं भावयन्तः श्रेयः परमवाप्स्यथ इष्टान् भोगान् हि वो देवा दास्यन्ते यज्ञभाविताः तैर्दत्तान् प्रदायैभ्यो यो भुङ्क्ते स्तेन एव सः यज्ञशिष्टाशिनः सन्तो मुच्यन्ते सर्वकिल्बिषः मुच्यन्ते सर्वकिल्बिषैः भुञ्जते ते त्वघं पापा ये पचन्त्यात्मकारणात् अन्नाद् भवन्ति भूतानि पर्जन्यात् अन्नसम्भवः यज्ञाद् भवति पर्जन्यो यज्ञः कर्म समुद्भवम् यज्ञः कर्म समुद्भवः कर्म ब्रह्मोद्भवं विद्धि ब्रह्माक्षरसमुद्भवम् तस्मात् सर्वगतं ब्रह्म नित्यं यज्ञे प्रतिष्ठितम् एवं प्रवर्तितं चक्रं नानुवर्तयति हयः अयाभुरिन्द्रियारामो मोघं पार्थ स जीवति यस्त्वात्मरतिरेव स्यात् तृप्तश्च मानवः आत्मन्येव च सन्तुष्टः तस्य कार्यं न विद्यते नैव तस्य कृतेनार्थो नाकृतेनेह कश्चन न चास्य सर्वभूतेषु कश्चित् अर्थव्यपाश्रयः तस्मात् सततं कार्यं कर्म समाचर असक्तो ह्याचरन् कर्म परमाप्नोति पुरुषः.
No, Hari Om. Asakto hyacharan karma paramapnoti purushaha.
असक्तो ह्याचरन् कर्म परमाप्नोति पुरुषः.
Yeah.
कर्मण्येव हि संसिद्धिम् आस्थिता जनकादयः लोकसंग्रहमेवापि सम्पश्यन् कर्तुम् अर्हसि यद्वेतरो जनः स यत्प्रमाणं कुरुते लोकस्त्वदनुवर्तते न मे पार्थास्ति कर्तव्यं त्रिषु लोकेषु किंचन नानवाप्तं वाप्यत्वं वर्त एव च कर्मणि यदि हि अहं न वर्तेय जातु कर्मण्यतन्द्रितता मम वर्त्मानुवर्तन्ते मनुष्याः पार्थ सर्वशः उत्सीदेयुरीमे लोका न कुर्यान् कर्म चेदहम् संकरस्य च कर्ता स्याम् उपहन्यामि मा प्रजाः सक्ता कर्मण्य विद्वांसो यथा कुर्वन्ति भारत कुर्यात् विद्वांस्तथा सक्तश्चिकीर्षु लोकसंग्रहम् न बुद्धिभेदैः जनयेत् अज्ञानां कर्मसङ्गिनां जोषयेत् सर्वकर्माणि विद्वान् युक्तः समाचरन् प्रकृते क्रियकर्माणि गुणे कर्माणि सर्वशः अहंकार विमूढात्मा कर्ताहमिति मन्यते तत्विद्तु महाबाहो गुणकर्म विभागयोः गुणागुणेषु वर्तन्त इति मत्वा न सज्जते प्रकृतेर्गुणसम्मूढाः सज्जन्ते गुणकर्मसु तान् कृत्स्न न विदो मन्दान् कृतस्न न विचालयेत् मयि सर्वाणि कर्माणि सन्न्यस्याध्यात्मचेतसा निराशीर्निर्मर्मो भूत्वा युद्धस्व विगतज्वरा ये मे मतमिदं नित्यम् अनुतिष्ठन्ति मानवाः श्रद्धावन्तो न सूयन्तो मुच्यन्ते तेऽपि कर्मभिः ये त्वेदभ्यसूयन्तो नानुतिष्ठन्ति ते मतम् सर्वज्ञानविमूढांस्तान् विद्धि नष्टान् चेतसः सदृशं चेष्टते सस्यात् प्रकृतेर्ज्ञानवानपि प्रकृतिं यान्ति भूतानि निग्रहः किं करिष्यति इन्द्रियस्तेन्द्रियस्यार्थे रागद्वेषौ व्यवस्थितौ तयोर्नवशमागच्छेत् तौ ह्यस्य परिपन्थिनौ श्रेयां स्वधर्मो विगुणः परधर्मास्वनुष्ठितात् स्वधर्मे निधनं श्रेयः परधर्मो भयावहः अर्जुन उवाच अथ केन प्रयुक्तोऽयं पापं चरति पूरुषः अनिच्छन्नपि वार्ष्णेय बलादिव नियोजितः श्रीभगवानुवाच काम एष क्रोध एष रजो गुणसमुद्भवः महाशनो महापाप्मा विद्येन्नमिव वैरिणम् धूमेनाव्रियते वह्निर् यथा दर्शो मलेन च यथोल्बेनावृतो गर्भस्तथा तेदेनमावृतम् आवृत्ते ज्ञानमेतेन ज्ञानिनो नित्यवैरिणा कामरूपेण कौन्तेय दुष्पुरेणानलेन च इन्द्रियाणि मनोबुद्धिर् अस्याधिष्ठानमुच्यते एतैर्विमोहयत्येष ज्ञानमावृत्य देहिनम् तस्मात् तवमिन्द्रियाण्यादौ नियम्य भरतर्षभ पाप्मानं प्रजहिह्नेनं ज्ञानविज्ञाननाशनम् इन्द्रियाणि पराण्याहुः इन्द्रियेभ्यः परं मनः मनसस्तु परा बुद्धिर् यो बुद्धिः परतस्तु सः एवं बुद्धेः परं बुद्ध्वा संस्तभ्यात्मानमात्मना जहि शत्रुं महाबाहो कामरूपं दुरासदम् ॐ तत्सत् इति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे कर्मयोगो नाम तृतीयोऽध्यायः। ॐ श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु। ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः। श्रीमद्भगवद्गीता चतुर्थोऽध्यायः। अथ चतुर्थोऽध्यायः। श्रीभगवानुवाच इमं विवस्वते योगं प्रोक्तावानहमव्ययम् विवस्वान्मनवे प्राह मनुरिश्वा कवे ब्रवीत्।
Very good. Very well chanted. Thank you.
धन्यवाद नाना जी।
Yeah, can we project the Bhajagovindam 27th verse, I think.
Yeah, just give me a second, Nana.
Yeah. Yeah, this is where we were yesterday. Geyam Gita Nama Sahasram, Jeyam Shripati Rupam Ajasram, Neyam Sajjana Sange Chittam, Deyam Dina Janaya Chavittam. Yeah, this we have covered yesterday. Yeah, if you have any doubts, we will attend to them and later on go to the 28th verse. Geyam Gita Nama Sahasram, Jeyam Shripati Rupam Ajasram, Neyam Sajjana Sange Chittam, Deyam Dina Janaya Chavittam. These are the Kartavyas for a mumukshu. Geyam Gita Nama Sahasram. You have to keep on singing Gita and the Vishnu Sahasranama. Then Shripati Rupam Ajasram Jeyam. You have to keep always meditate on Shripati's Rupam and his activities, his Prabodha, his Dharma Bodha, his Moksha Bodha, etc. Neyam Sajjana Sange Chittam. You will have to lead yourself to the assemblage of noble people, good people. Sajjana Sange Chittam. Deyam Dena Jaya Janaya Chavittam. You will have to necessarily give for people who are deserving and who are needy with them. Whatever you can spare from out of your earnings, whatever you can cheerfully give, please give, and after giving, forget that you have given. Next verse, please. Now with this 27th verse, the Manjari Stotram has ended. That is all the Sishyas of Shankaracharya from the 13th verse onwards till the 27th verse. All the 14 Sishyas, they have contributed each to a sloka, which ended with that Geyam Gita Nama Sahasram. Now in these last 4 verses, Acharya Shankara is kind of blessing all of us, especially that old man at the Ganges banks. Sukata kriyate Rama bhogaha, paschad hanta sharire rogaha, edyapi loke maranam sharanam, tadapina munchati papa charanam. Tadapina munchati papa charanam. Knowing all these things, sukataha kriyate Rama bhogaha. This fellow, generally every man, what he does, every man includes every woman also. What they do, every purusha, Rama bhogaha sukata kriyate. Sukataha means for the sake of sukataha, for the sake of sukha, kriyate, he will indulge. In what? Rama bhogaha, in some carnal pleasures and things like that. Things he should not be attempting to do, he will be reveling in doing that. Paschat, then afterwards, Hanta, towards the end, Sharire Rogaha. The Sharira will develop a lot of diseases as a result of the trauma Bhogaha. Edyapiloke Maranam Sharanam. Everybody knowing this fact, that the fact of life is, the one known fact of life is Maranam. Edyapi Loke Maranam Sharanam iti Jnatva api. Even though knowing, everybody knows, not that nobody knows, not that only some people know, everybody knows this. Tadapina munchati papa charanam. Even then, the papa acharana, doing papa karmas, they will not refrain from. So you will have to do Bhajagovindam, Bhajagovindam, Govindam Bhajamodhamate, Samprapte Sannihite Kale, Nahi Nahi Rakshati Dukrun Karane. Next verse, please. Adhamanadham bhavaya nityam, nasti tata sukhalesha satyam, putradapi dana bhajam bhitihi, sarvatresha vihitaritihi. This is the ordained way of life everywhere. Sarvatresha vihitaritihi. Adhamanadham. Adham is wealth. Is anadham. It leads to a lot of calamities. Adhamanadham bhavaya nityam. Understand this always. Bhavaya nityam means understand. Think about this always. And think about it and try to use Adham for any useful purpose. Not get attached to Adham. Adham by itself has no value unless it has catered to discharging your needs. Just understand that. Nasti tata sukhaleshaha satyam. In this Ardham, that is in the wealth, there is not even an iota of sukham. If sukham is the quality of Ardham, the wealthiest man must be the most reveling in sukham, the one who is extremely happy always. But the wealthy man, he has other problems. He cannot sleep. He feels hungry always, but he can't eat because he does not have the necessary appetite. And even if he somehow swallows some food for Sharira Yatra, then even then he can't digest that food. Then Putradapi dhana bhajam bhitihi. Putradapi, even from one's progeny, from son, dhanabhajam bhitihi, there is fear for people who are wealthy. For the wealthy people, they are necessarily afraid of the son and the progeny. Sarvatraisha vihitaritihi. It is the ordained way of life everywhere. This is not to find fault with the progeny. It is the fault of Ardham. The fault of Ardham is that it induces everybody into Papacharanam. That is how Putradapi Dhana Bhajam Bhitihi. The very son will become a source of fear for the father, for the mother, and who have earned a lot of money and who are trying to safeguard it for a rainy day and for handing it over to their progeny after they exit from this globe. But that Putra, the son of him, will not wait till then. That is why he will be as though looking for the end of this father, the end of this mother. Putra dapi dhana bhajam bhitihi sarvatraisha vihita ritihi. A classical example is Aurangzeb, the almost the last Mughal emperor. He has imprisoned his father, okay, and he hunted 3 of his other brothers all over Asia and put them to death. Aurangzeb. And he was supposed to be the youngest of the lot, youngest of the 4 children to Shah Jahan. Putra dapi dhana bhajam bhitihi. And when this Taj Mahal was under construction, which was initiated by Shah Jahan in memory of his loving queen Mumtaz Mahal, this Aurangzeb waited for an opportunity. Then, as the construction was going on, he imprisoned his father in the Agra palace. And from the windows of the Agra palace, poor Shah Jahan, who was the then emperor of Mahabharat, he had to content himself with just looking through the window how the construction was going on. And this fellow was so very merciless. He hunted his brothers and killed them, eliminated them. And one of the brothers was supposed to be a very, very evolving philosopher. And that person's head was severed and it was hung on the front walls of Agra fort. Putra depi dhana bhajam bhitihi sarvatraisha vihita ritihi. Understanding this, Bhajagovindam, Bhajagovindam, Govindam Bhajamodhamate. Because Samprapte Sannihite Kale, when the time nears, Dukrun Karane Nahi Nahi Rakshati. All these empirical knowledges will not help you at all. It will not be a solace. It will not be a protection to you. And the only protection is Govinda Nama Smarana, Bhajagovindam. Next verse. Pranayamam pratyaharam nitya nitya viveka vicharam yapya sameta samadhi vidhanam kurvavadhanam mahadavadhanam. Avadhanam, carefully, mahadavadhanam, very, very carefully. You have to undertake. What is this? Yapya sameta samadhi. Together with japa. Together with japa, japya sameta. Japa of your chosen deity's name, japya sameta. Samadhi vidhanam. Samadhi is essentially, it is samavastu darshanam in the dhihi. Dhi is intellect. The intellect always having the samavastu darshanam. What is that samavastu? Atma vastu eva. Okay? Yapya sameta samadhi vidhanam. You undertake that kind of a samavastu darshana as the yoga together with the japa, very carefully, always carefully. Pranayamam, pratyaharam, nitya anitya viveka vicharam. This we have seen in the Tattva Bodha. Nitya anitya viveka vicharam. Nitya vastu vekam brahma tadvyatiriktam sarvam anityam iti nitya anitya vastu vivekaha, which we have picked up and we have been contemplating on that. Nitya Anitya Vastu Viveka Vicharam. Okay, that Vicharam, that always, that reflection on that. Then Pranayamam Pratyaharam. Pratyaharam is what? You have the Indriyas, which will be always running after the Indriya Vishayas. You will have to have some kind of a mastery, because it is the attraction of the Indriya Vishayas on the Indriyas, and Indriyas are very, very powerful. Indriyani pramadhini haranti prasabham manaha tani sarvani samyamya yukta asita matparaha vashehi yasyendriyani tasya prajna pratishtita. If you want to have a lasting prajna, lasting nishtha on Atma Jnana, you will have to have this pratyahara. You show some other avenue for the Indriyas. You show some other avenue, like satsangam, like Zoom sangatyam, like swadhyayam, like doing good things, meeting good people, discussing good things. Tadbuddhayaha, tadatmanaha, tannishtaha, tatparayanaha. All this beautifully was mentioned by Bhagavan Krishna in the chapters of the Gita. This occurred in the 5th chapter. And elsewhere he said, people will have to, for their own benefit, Machitta Madgata Pranaha Bodhayanta Parasparam Kadayantasya Mam Nityam Tushyanti Ramanti Cha. These are the avenues in which you must let your Indriyas spread and take some interest in that. They must develop some rati in that. And they must also have arati jana samsadi. This was time and again pointed out. Time and again pointed out. Pratyaharam, that is the way of pratyaharam. Now pranayamam. Pranayamam, people think it is only the breath control, while pranayamam involves breath control certainly. Okay. It is not just limited to pranayamam. Prana is what? Prana will be manifesting in so many other ways also. What are the other ways? One way is like breathing and inhaling, exhaling. And without your knowledge, there are other things going on through the prana inside. What are those? Vyana, samana, udana. You are only aware of prana and apana. These other three you are not aware of, but those are going on automatically without your intervention. You will have to only intervene to kind of distort their normal activities, which are very, very, very essential. So prana is much more than just the breath control. And another thing, supposing you are feeling hungry, you feel hungry and there is a demand for food for you. Is it not an activity of prana? Is it not prana that is manifesting in the form of hunger and demanding food? And there the control comes. When you start partaking some food, you have to have some vichakshana. Because you are feeling hungry, you can't eat like a I don't want to say that. You can't keep on eating morsels and morsels of food and towards the end finally belch and things like that. That is no control of that prana which is manifesting in the form of hunger. You have to have some vichakshana in eating also. Yukta ahara viharasya, yukta cheshtasya karmasu, yukta swapnavabodhasya, yogo bhavati dukkha. For all these to be done in the yukta margena, prana is to be controlled. Another thing, as we are discussing this, the Gita and Bhagavad Gita, this Bhajagovindam, other texts, you may have an urge to keep on talking on this. When you have an urge to talk on this, assembly of good people, when you are amidst them, you will better wait your opportunity. When questioned only, you talk. Otherwise, don't you unnecessarily intervene and interject your own points of view in the midst of people who are more knowledgeable than you. You listen to them, benefit from their advice. If they ask any question, if you know the answer, you answer properly. And you answer properly in a limited manner using your walk. Simply because they hand over the mic to you, you want to keep on yapping. That is misuse of the prana. Misuse of the prana in the form of walk. So many things. Like in the night, you normally have your food by say 8:30 in the night or so, and hit the sack by 10 o'clock in the night. When you are used to sleeping by 10 o'clock, one day you have switched on the TV by 9:30 and some very good movie was going on, and you keep on seeing that till 1 o'clock in the night. This is not prana control. You have the next day coming in and you need to attend to your normal duties, and you should not be feeling very groggy, sleepy, and become a nuisance to all others in the workplace where you go. You must be on your own. You must be respected by everybody. You can't be yawning during your work period. So for that requires you are switching off the TV by 10 o'clock and sleeping. That is another pranayamam. That can be so many things. Wherever prana is manifest, the control of that is pranayamam, including, of course, breath control. Pranayamam pratyaharam nitya anitya viveka vicharam yapya sameta samadhi vidhanam kuru avadhanam mahadavadhanam. Very carefully, very deftly, very gently, because you have to do all this with the help of the mind, and mind is a violent instrument. Be careful with that. You have to soothe the feelings of the violent mind always, and always nurture that, caress that, and make it your own. Make it listen to whatever you have decided to do. That is how Kuru Avadhanam Mahadavadhanam. Next verse, please. Guru Charanambuja Nirbhara Bhaktaha Samsarad Achirad Bhava Muktaha Sendriya Manasa Niyamadevam Drakshasi Nija Hrudayastam Devam. Beautiful. Drakshasi Devam. You will be seeing the deity. Who is the deity? Nija Hrudayastam. Drakshasi Nija Hrudayastam Devam. He is indeed resident in you all the time. He is actually, you think you are the body, but he is what you are. He is what you are. Tat Tvam Asi. And that you will be able to see how Guru Charanambuja Nirbhara Bhaktaha. You must be a devotee of the lotus feet of the Guru. Always. You must be an ardent devotee of the lotus feet of the Guru. Guru Charana Ambuja. Ambuja is what? Ambu is what? Ambu is water. Amba is mother. Ambu is water. And Ambuja is that which is born out of water. So many things are born out of water, but the one which is very famous, and for Shastra Vishaya Chircha, what is very relevant is that Ambuja, which is called Padma. That Padma has a wonderful, wonderful quality. It's dalas, it's patras. Though Padma is born out of water, the dalas of the Padma will not get wetted by water. Nalini dalagata jalamati taralam tadvajivita matishaya chapalam. We have seen that in the same text. Nalini dalagata jalamati taralam. that jalam which is dancing on the petal of the Padma, Nalini, that the dance is very unstable. You don't know when it will fall down into the water. Tadvajivitam atishaya chapalam. So too is our jivitam, okay? Our prana, when it will go away, when we have breathed our last, when we have released our last breath, we do not know. Tadvajivitam atishaya chapalam. To take care of that, Guru Charana Ambuja Nirbhara Bhakta. Always be a very great, ardent devotee, Nitya devotee, not once in a while. Whether the Guru is present or not, you can have the bhavana that he is present and Guru Charana Ambuja Nirbhara Bhakta. Samsarat Achirat Bhava Muktaha. When you can do that, conform to the first line. Samsarat, from the Janana Marana Pravah Rupya Rupa Samudram. From this, Achirat, quickly, Muktaha Bhava. Samsarat Achirat Bhava Muktaha. Very quickly you will become, actually it is a blessing. Become. Acharya is blessing the Shishyas and all of us. Become Muktaha Achirat, quickly. Sendriyamana Saniyama Devam. But for that there is a condition. You will have to master the Indriyas and the inner equipment. Indriyas and the Antakarana. Sendriyamana Saniyama Devam. By absolute mastery of all these only, Drakshasi Nija Hrudayastam Devam. You will be in a position to see who indeed you are, and that image is always there in you, you don't know. You will be able to know. Jnana Devatu Kaivalyam. That is how. And for that, you have to do this Govinda Bhajana. Bhajagovindam Bhajagovindam Govindam Bhajamodamate Samprapte Sannihite Kale Nahi Nahi Rakshate Dukrun Karne. Brahmara, can we have
Yes, Nana.
just the verses alone projected?
Yes. Just give me a minute. I will do that.
Yeah, correct.
You want it to be chanted, Nana?
Yeah, for the, yeah,
Can I chant?
yeah, please. Please chant. And afterwards, leave me some about 5-7 minutes. Okay? Yeah.
Okay. Bhajagovindam Bhajagovindam Govindam Bhajamudhamate Samprapte Sannihite Kale Nahi Nahi Rakshati Dukran Karane Mudhajahi Dhanagama Trishna Kuru Sadbuddhim Manasi Vitrishna Yallabhase Nija Karmopatam Vittam Tena Vinodaya Chittam Naristana Bharanabhidesham Drishtva Maghamohavesham Etanmam Savasadi Vikaram Manasi Vichintaya Varam Varam Nalini Dalagata Jalamati Taralam Tadvajivitamatishaya chapalam Vidhi vyadhyabhimanagrastam Lokam shokahatam cha samastam Yavat vittoparjana saktaha Tavan nija parivaro raktaha Paschajivati jarjara dehe Vartam kopi na pritchati gehe Yavat पवनो निवसति देहे तावत् पृच्छति कुशलं गेहे गतवति वायौ देहापाये भार्या बिभ्यति तस्मिन् काये बालस्तावत् क्रीडासक्तः तरुणस्तावत् तरुणीसक्तः वृद्धास्तावत् चिन्तासक्तः परमे ब्रह्मणि कोऽपि न सक्तः काते कान्ता कस्ते पुत्रः संसारोऽयमतीव विचित्रः कस्य त्वं कः कुत आयातः तत्त्वं चिन्तय तदिह भ्रातः सत्सङ्गत्वे निस्सङ्गत्वं निस्सङ्गत्वे निर्मोहत्वं निर्मोहत्वे निश्चलतत्वं निश्चलतत्वे जीवन्मुक्तिः वयसि गते कः कामविकारः शुष्के नीरे कः कासारः क्षीणे वित्ते कः परिवारो ज्ञाते त्वे कः संसारः मा कुरु धन जन यौवन गर्वं हरति निमेषत्कालः सर्वं मायामयमिदमखिलं भूत्वा ब्रह्मपदं त्वं प्रविश विदित्वा दिनयामिन्यौ सायं प्रातः शिशिरवसन्तौ पुनरायातः कालः क्रीडति गत्यत्यायुः तदपि न मुञ्चति आशावायुः काते कान्ता धनगतचिन्ता वातुल किं तव नास्ति नियन्ता त्रिजगति सज्जन संगतिरेका भवति भवार्णवतरणे नौका I'm skipping this one.
You can skip that, yeah.
जटिलो मुण्डी लुञ्चितकेशः काषायाम्बर बहुकृतवेषः पश्यन्नपि च न पश्यति मूढो हृदरनिमित्तं बहुकृतवेषः अङ्गं गलितं पलितं मुण्डं दशनविहीनं जातं तुण्डं वृद्धो याति गृहीत्वा दण्डं तदपि न मुञ्चति आशापिण्डम् अग्रे वह्निः पृष्ठे भानुः रात्रौ चुबुकसमर्पितजानुः करतलभिक्षस्तरुतलवासः तदपि न मुञ्चत्याशापाशः कुरुते गङ्गासागरगमनं व्रतपरिपालनमथवा दानं ज्ञानविहीनः सर्वमतेन मुक्तिं न भजति जन्मशतेन सुरमन्दिरतरुमूलनिवासः शय्याभूतलमजिनं वासः सर्वपरिग्रहभोगत्यागः कस्य सुखं न करोति विरागः योगरतो वा भोगरतो वा सङ्गरतो वा सङ्गविहीनः यस्य ब्रह्मणि रमते चित्तं नन्दति नन्दति नन्दत्येव भगवद्गीता किञ्चिदधीता गङ्गाजललवकणिका पीता सकृदपि येन मुरारिसमार्चा क्रियते तस्य यमेन न चर्चा पुनरपि जननं पुनरपि मरणं पुनरपि जननी जठरे शयनम् इह संसारे बहुदुस्तारे कृपया पारे पाहि मुरारे रत्याचर्पट विरचित कन्थः पुण्या पुण्य विवर्जित पंथः योगी योगनियोजित चित्तो रमते बालोन्मत्तवदेव कस्त्वं कोऽहं कुत आयातः कामे जननी को मे तातः इति परिभावय सर्वमसारं विश्वं त्यक्त्वा स्वप्नविचारम् त्वयि मयि चान्यत्रैको विष्णुः व्यर्थं कुप्स्यसि मयि असहिष्णुः भवसमचित्तः सर्वत्र त्वं वाञ्छस्य चिराद्यदि विष्णुत्वम् शत्रौ मित्रे पुत्रे बन्धौ मा कुरु यत्नं विग्रहसन्धौ सर्वस्मिन्नपि पश्यात्मानं सर्वत्रोऽस्त्रिजभेदज्ञानम् कामं क्रोधं लोभं मोहं त्यक्त्वात्मानं पश्यति सोऽहम् आत्मज्ञानविहीना मूढाः ते पश्यन्ते नरकनिगूढाः गेयं गीता नाम सहस्रं ध्येयं श्रीपतिरूपमजस्रं ज्ञेयं सज्जनसङ्गे चित्तं देयं दीनजनाय च वित्तम् सुखतः क्रियते रामा भोगः पश्चादन्तशरीरे रोगः यद्यपि लोके मरणं शरणं तदपि न मुञ्चति पापाचरणम् अर्थमनर्थं भावय नित्यं नास्ति ततः सुखलेशः सत्यं पुत्रादपि धनभाजां भीतिः सर्वत्रैषा विहिता रीतिः प्राणायामं प्रत्याहारं नित्यानित्यविवेकविचारं जाप्स्य समेत समाधिविधानं कुर्ववधानं महदवधानम् गुरुचरणाम्बुज निर्भर भक्तः संसारादचिरात् भवमुक्तः सेन्द्रियमानस नियमादेवं रक्षसि निज हृदयस्थं देवं भज गोविन्दम्. Oh, there's one more. मूढः कश्चन वैयाकरणो डुक्कृन्करणाध्ययनधुरीणः श्रीमच्छङ्कर भगवच्चिष्टैः बोधित आसीत् चोदितकरणः भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते नामस्मरणादन्यमुपायं न हि पश्यामो भवाब्धितरणे.
Very good. Thank you. Very, very chanted. Now we have come to the end of Bhajagovindam. But we should always entertain the essence of the 31 verses we have gone through for the past about 1 week or so. We must understand that Acharya Shankara has given a lot of prescriptions to us, and he's also mentioned a lot of truths through these slokas. The truths I happen to just note down at random. 1. Samprapte sannihite kale dukrun karane nahi rakshati. That has been the pallavi throughout all these slokas. Then Jivitam atishaya chapalam is another truth. Nalini dalagata jalamati taralam tadvajivitam atishaya chapalam. So understand that we can't be everlasting, and as long as the vital breath keeps going in and out, we will have to do the very best that we can after having taken this Manushya Janma, then this lokam is always ridden with sorrow. Lokam shokahatam cha samastam. That is another truth he has mentioned. Then yavat vitto parjana saktaha tavan nija parivaro raktaha. As long as you have the capacity to earn only, like ants flocking to a cube of sugar, people will be flocking to you. And after you have exhausted your capacity to earn, they will simply leave you. Then another thing, Gatavati Vayo Deha Paye Bharya Abhibhyati Tasmin Kaye. This Kaya which is venerated, which is very well taken care of by the very Bharya, Tasmin Kaye Bharya Abhibhyati. This does not become the husband now, it becomes the Kaya. And that Kaya, even Bharya is scared of approaching anywhere near the Kaya. Then Adhamanadham Bhavaya Nityam. Adhamanadham, we have covered that. There it is calamitous. Adhamanadham. Then Balastavat Krida Saktaha. Beginning with that. And Acharya has ended saying Parame Brahmani Kopina Saktaha. The other Pachantara for this sloka is Parase Brahmani Kopina Saktaha. Both are okay. Now, this samsara is ativa vichitraha. Samsaroyam ativa vichitraha. It's a very strange thing indeed. Because in the Jagrata Avastha, that samsara, it is available only as long as you are awake. But when once you go to sleep, this samsara which is available to you in the Jagrata Avastha, that vanishes. Is it not a strange thing? And actually, Yajnavalkya Rishi, when he was teaching Janaka Maharshi asked him a question, I believe. Hey Maharshi, I have a doubt, a fundamental doubt. Is it that we too are in a dream now? That is in the Jagrata Avastha he was asking. Are we participants in a dream now? In my dream, you are a participant? Or when I go to bed, whether that is a dream, whether that is the Jagrata Avastha, or this is the Jagrata Avastha, which is the dream? Yajnavalkya beautifully answers, both are dreams. Both are dreams. This is a longer dream. So, this longer dream, samsaroyam ativa vichitraha. Then this Jivan Mukti is obtainable through what? Nischala Tattve Jivan Mukti. When your mind is absolutely stable on the thoughts of Pitaya, then only Jivan Mukti is possible. Tad Buddhayaha, Tadatmanaha, Tannishtaha, Tannishta. That Nishta is Achanchala Diksha is required. Tannishtaha, Tatparayanaha. Gachanti, apunaravrittim, there is no coming back. Apunaravrittis, there is no coming back. That is the end of the samsara. That is Jivan Mukti. Nischala Tattve Jivan Mukti. Then, Vayasigate Kahakama Vikaraha. Beginning with that, Acharya ends saying what? Jnate Tattve Kaha Samsaraha. When you have known who you indeed are, where is the samsara? Where is the pangs of samsara sagara? That dukkham. So all those things will vanish. So you have to do what? Make an effort to understand who you are, jnate tattve. Then maya, mayam, idam, akhilam, jagat. This entire thing is mayodbhavam. Understand that. Kalaha kriyate gachyat chayuho. Your ayu is depleting every day. Every day by one day it is depleting. And the Madam Kala keeps on playing unidirectionally, kridati, and ayuhu gacchati. Then udaranamittam bahukrutaveshaha. Don't have these kind of gods. Udaranamittam bahukrutaveshaha. There are a lot of people you are seeing. Learn from them and avoid being like them. Jnana vihinaha sarvamatena muktim na bhajati janmashatena. Without jnanam, even in hundreds of births, there is no liberation for you at all. Yasya brahmani ramate chittam nandati 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 eva. But on the other hand, yasya chittam, whose mind, brahmani ramate, yasya chittam brahmani ramate, that person, nandati 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 eva, always, okay, always will be happy. Then iha samsare, bahudustare, in this samsara, there are a lot of difficulties, and these are very, very natural, and these were forced on you and by the force of circumstances also. Both are there. You have forced it on yourself through your prarabdha, your samskara, your purva janma, sukruta, dushkruta, vishesha. Then Sendriya manasa niyama devam, drakshasi nija hridayastam devam. That we have seen in the last verse. Pranayamam pratyaharam, nitya nitya viveka vicharam, japya sameta samadhi vidanam, kurvavadanam mahadavadanam. And that is possible if you ordain your indriyas and the mind only. Sendriya manasa niyama devam, devam. These are all the truths that were revealed through this Bhajagovindam sloka beautifully. Acharya has given us some prescriptions as to some things to be done, some things to be avoided. Like, to be avoided is what? Dhanagama Trushnam Jihi. You win over that Trishna, that the thirst for acquiring more and more wealth. You get rid of that notion. Then you must master your mind. That getting rid of that dhanagama trishna is possible through the mind only. Manasivi trishna. The mind must be mastered by you, which should be devoid of any kind of this kind of a craving. Bhajagovindam, Bhajagovindam, Satatam, always worship Govinda. And this worshipping Govinda is not simply bhajana. While worship involves bhajana, bhajana alone is not worship. Bhajana includes your antakarana, totally immersed in the thought of that object you are doing bhajana of. Okay? Then knowing that in front of you so many people are taking birth, so many others are dying, in spite of that kind of a knowledge, tatapina munchati asha pindam, you don't give up your ball of desires, this huge ball of desires. Sarva parigraha bhogachagaha, kasya sukham na karoti viragaha, sarva parigraha bhogachagaha, the one who simply gives up the bhoganishta and will revel in the thought of the sadvastu. The sadvastu is atma eva. Then he will revel in himself by himself with no other external support. And you have to cultivate the habit of loving chanting of the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita, Kinchidadhita. That is why we have been painstakingly. This is the third or fourth cycle of Gita chanting we are continuing. It's not just to waste time. It is just to inculcate the clarity of thought in the usefulness of Bhagavad Gita, and also in developing your aptitude for chanting the Gita, because there's a wonderful blessing. There is a wonderful blessing. Bhagavad Gita, Kinchadadhita, Ganga Jalalava Kanika Pita, Sakradapi Yena Murari Samacha, Kriyate Tasya Yamena Nachecha. Death is inevitable for everybody, but death dare not strike any fear in you when the time comes. You will happily embrace death. That is possible when you have the love for Bhagavad Gita. Okay, develop that. Bhava samachitta sarvatra tvam. Hey Bhakta, you become samachittaha bhava sarvatra. Develop that. That samavastu. Samavastu is Atma. Then kamam, krodham, lobham, moham, chetvatmanam, pashyati soham. That soham, that tattvamasi mahavakya can be experienced aparokshena by initially giving up this kamam, krodham, lobham, moham, all these things. Then dhana jana yavvana garmam ma kuru. Dhana jana yavvana garvam ma kuru. Don't entertain these kind of pride-ridden thinking that you have a lot of retinue, a lot of wealth, and you are very young and very vibrant and very versatile. You have acquired a lot of knowledge, and all that knowledge is what? It is not paravidya. It is aparavidya. It is a wasteful exercise. Okay? Then Geyam Gita Nama Sahasram. Always sing the praise of the Lord through the Sahasranama. And always sing the Gita. Jayam Shripati Rupam Ajasram. Always meditate on Shripati Rupam. Neyam Sajjana Sange Chittam. Always lead yourself by yourself towards the conclave of Sajjana Sangha. Okay, go there. Deyam dena janaya chavitam. Whatever you can spare happily, without inconvenience of yourself, happily give, and with a blessing attitude you give. Then this body is what? Made out of what? Etan mamsavasade vikaram. Manasi vichintaya varam varam. This applies to both men and women. Etat shariram, this shariram, which is very bright, brilliant, inviting, and very lustful, all these things. Etan mamsavasade vikaram. Manasi vichintaya varam varam. Then makuru yatnam vigraha sandhav. Don't you must have the habit of loving everybody, but don't you develop the habit of keeping very peaceful with some people and being very inimical to others. This kind of a bheda bhavana, ustruja, you give up that. Then you understand that ihaloke maranam sharanam. Don't you forget that. This maranam sharanam is definite. Then you have to undertake pranayamam pratyaharam nitya anitya viveka vicharam yapya sameta samadhi vidanam kuru avadhanam mahadavadhanam. With all these things, Bhajagovindam, Bhajagovindam, drakshasi nija hrudayastam devam. The one who is in you, resident in you, he is your indweller, he is your sakshi. Whatever good or bad you are doing, he has been the witness. And he smiles once in a while when you do things properly. And he does not get annoyed when you do things badly. He is just a mere sakshi. Understand that. And understanding that, try to have that saddarshana. That sadvastu darshana, that Sachitananda Swarupaha Tvameva, understand, and that is possible by Bhajagovindam, Bhajagovindam. Govindam Bhaja Modhamate, get rid of this Modhamate. Okay? Samprapte Sannihite Kale Dhukrun Karane Nahi Rakshate. Yeah. From tomorrow, we're on to the 18th chapter. Okay? Thank you for giving me 10 minutes today.
Dr. Bhadra, have you read my message for Nana?
What is that? Brahmana?
Dr. Renu has sent a message saying, she's put it in the chat. Yeah? Respected Nana, thank you so much for introducing us to Bhajagovindam. I heard it first time in my life.
Oh, okay, okay.
I appreciate
But though it is the first time in your life, you continue this chanting of this sloka every day. Geyam Gita Nama Sahasram Ajasram. Without any gap, you keep on chanting this. Good. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Hari Om Nana.
Hari Om, everybody.
Hari Om Nana.
Hari Om Nana ji.
Thank you
Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Hari Om
Thank
Nana ji.
you so much. You have been very patient with me all along. Hari Om.